All right, you guys out there, the fathers and the men, this is your day. Happy Father's Day, happy Man's Day. This was a hard week for me. I don't often think about what it means to be a man or a father or a husband. I read some articles, listened to some people online. Some of the articles were contradictory. Like one of them was, take that rage, take that drive and aggression and channel it into things that are productive and helpful. And the other article said, let that go, let the beast out, let it motivate you and push you along the way. There was other articles that sounded familiar, be the breadwinner and take the lead in the family, and all right. And then there's other articles that were about finding your creative side and really discovering that men have a lot of just things that they can make and be creative at. And so I thought that was interesting. And I've had lots of advice over the years from people, some good, some bad. One I remember made me pretty angry. I was with my wife and this other guy, and we're trying to decide where to go. And I'm, like I often do, I'll say to my wife, wherever you want to go, I'm happy, whatever you want to do. And later he kind of got mad at me. He's like, come on, man, wear the pants in your family, make the decisions, take charge. Women appreciate that. And I'm thinking, really? All women? That all women in the world that are in relationships, they want the other person to make the decisions and take charge? Like, no, I don't think so. And so that's where I kind of drew the line this week. I like having conversations, and I like thinking of, manhood and being a father as certain skills. And I can improve, and I can change, and I can learn new skills. But I don't need to necessarily change who I am as a man or a father. In fact, that's the fun part, is discovering that. I could be wrong about this, but I just get that feeling when I start getting advice and reading the articles, and it's like, think about changing your personality, changing your, who you are, your nature. I don't even know if you can do that. But yeah, skills for sure. And so I like having those conversations, but I want to put the brakes on when someone starts saying I need to be a different person. So that's step one. Now, I do also realize that, like many people, all humans, but this week I'm talking about men and fathers and husbands, we find our identity in things. And again, women do as well, I think anyway. Find your identity in other things, right? Like you might find it in career. I'm a teacher. I feel like I'm a teacher through and through. And that's part of my identity. And I realize I can go overboard on that. I can focus so much time on that, I start neglecting other things. Some people find their identity in sports, for example. They love sports, they've got tattoos, the sports tattoos, and buy sports memorabilia. They play sports, they watch sports. That's part of their identity. Fair enough, but I'm just saying you could obviously go overboard in that. Outdoorsman, right? You might be an outdoorsman, you like hunting and fishing and all that kind of stuff, and that's just part of your identity, and lots of that is great. I'm just saying you might find a time in your life where you realize you may have gone overboard, and that's not the only place you should find your identity, is just in that thing, especially if that thing is temporary. Okay, that's my advice, is to try and think of who we are, find our identity in things that are long lasting. Okay, so for example, let's say you're good with your hands. You can fix things, build things, and you always will be able to. And so that's going to be with you forever. Now, let's say your career is a mechanic, but you're not always going to be a mechanic necessarily, but you can always be a craftsman with these hands, right? And so we can start to think of things in values, right? Maybe you love to sit and think and contemplate and wrestle and figure things out in your mind and research things, and you're just full of wisdom. You've got stores and stores of wisdom. Maybe you're a consultant as your career, but forever, you're going to be a wise person that gives good advice, Maybe you have money, and so part of your identity forever will be in generosity or sharing or giving. Maybe that's who you are. Or supportive. Maybe you're just a supportive person, you're an encourager, you're positive. Somebody comes into the room and they're doing something, and you're just naturally firing compliments at them. It's like you can't help it. That's who you are, right? Some of you are just strong. And you always will be, not just physically, but just through and through, strong, reliable, and that's just who you are. So that's what I'm saying. I think you should try and find your identity in those things that last long. When I think of my father, he likes special moments. He likes to create special moments. And he did it even when I was a child. He'd be out working, doing carpentry, and he would come back but before I was going to bed, to be with me, ask me about my day. I remember he would, I could smell that he had been working in wood. I could smell the wood on him, and I knew he had taken time to leave his work and come and be with me. And he would build tree houses with me, take me fishing, family vacations. That's what he liked to do, is have special, memorable moments, even to this day. Usually it's around the barbecue, he's making food, but he likes to have people around and have these conversations. So whatever it is for you, whether you're a boy watching this video or a man or a grandpa, whatever, my encouragement is to find your identity in values that are long lasting. And once you find out who you are, that's you. Hold on to that nature, and you don't have to try and think, oh, I need a whole different personality. Those are my thoughts this week. Thanks for watching. Talk to you more later.